want to bear witness. Oh my god, as Yoyo isn't playing his main race. He's playing random. Oh my god. Okay. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan. We have the Brazilian Zerg player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have as opponent, we have the American Zerg player, currently teamless. It is Yoyo. Here we go. So Yoyo did pick random, bear that in mind, and Erik is going for a drone scout to figure out what's going on. And he will confirm the mirror matchup. He confirms Yoyo going for a hatch first. So a hatch gas pool coming out from Yoyo. Erik is going to be going for his own hatch first as well. And we're going to be getting to a ZvZ. So when jumping in mid-series, I don't really know what happened. I don't know how this series has progressed and what has occurred and what has transpired. I do believe Yoyo is main race Zerg though. I believe that's the case. We've casted Yoyo before. You know what? I can just double check. I can just double check some of our VODs. As I hope we have some of them available. But yeah, it's been a while since we've casted Yoyo. I think the last time was maybe an NA Apprentice. As I just double checked, and yes, Yoyo's main race is Zerg. So this is going to be best case scenario for Yoyo. In a sense, it's very possible that some of the previous games have been a little bit cheesy, as, oh my god, Erik is going to be going for a very fast third base before his natural is even done. Third base is being taken here, but again, like, if Yoyo's Protoss or Terran is cheesy, maybe that's how he was able to catch Erik off guard. It is hard to say, but now we have the main race versus the main race. Yoyo having a little bit of an advantage early on because he did force Erik to drone scout, so that's a little bit inefficient mining, or a little bit of inefficiency coming out from Erik. And now Yoyo can be active on the map. Is going to be moving out with his army. Erik back at home. He's got his queens being produced. He's got a couple of lings not on the way, so yeah, he's got to be careful here. Erik has been very greedy. He went for a very fast third base, and he's just been droning. No lings whatsoever. The greed from Erik. Ay, ay, ay. The Yoyo trying to dip on forward here, but the drone micro is just too good. Erik is getting away with this. Back at home, Yoyo, he has to respond with his own third base at a normal timing, Bailey Nest at a normal timing as well. Pretty standard setup from Yoyo, just ultra greed from Erik. As finally he makes a wave of lings. Erik has just been mining more for longer here with his own drones. Erik going to be going for his Bailey Nest, but it is going to be much later compared to his opponent, so Yoyo is going to have a slight advantage here, at least defensively, as Erik is going to be flooding lings across the map. But as soon as that Bailey Nest is done, there we go, 2 Bailings are being morphed in back at home for Yoyo. He's going to be ready for this. The lings, they do rush on for the Bailings. They will finish up, but no, the lings are able to run past in time. They get into the main, they're going to be able to get a full scout at the same time. Lings are knocking down the front door of Yoyo. Oh, Bailings are brought forward. Decent connections. I think 4 lings for 2 Banes. Better trade for Erik. And now his own Bailey Nest is done. But it looks like Erik is going to back up. He's already transitioning. He wants to preserve his gas, but he does catch a queen. Ooh, the queen does go down in time. Oh, no! But he was baited in a massive connection for Yoyo. Takes down so many lings. Erik is a little bit on the back foot. He still has an influx of lings, but he has to do damage because Erik is behind economically. He is down 10 workers compared to Yoyo. But the wall is not a wall, and it looks like we are going to be able to get another queen. Queen goes down. Erik was able to drone up a little bit. I think he made a handful of workers. It looks like 6 drones. Meanwhile, Banelings are rolling on forward. Up. Oh my god, there is nowhere to go. The Banelings, they find their connections. 10 drones go down. And just like that, Erik, he evens up the economy. How does he do it? He needs to do damage, so he does. He just does it. Ay, ay, ay. He still has Lings threatening the bases. Roaches are on the way. They're in production for Erik. They will come out in time to defend against these Lings. Meanwhile, once again, he's going to be poking in. Just getting an eye on the army. Nothing too crazy. Roaches are being rallied across the map. Erik is making drones behind this. He's got his lair on the way. Additional gases are being taken. There's no Evo chamber, so this could even be for mutas. We've seen Erik do that before, where he's like hyper aggressive with Lingbane into Roaches, into mutas. But there is an Evo chamber, so he may just double down on the Roaches. Here we go, as Yoyo wants to be the aggressor, is moving out with his own army. This is spotted by Erik, as he does have an Overlord outside the third base. Erik is getting in position here at his natural. Making sure he doesn't get caught out here. Yoyo does see all of this. And Erik does start +1 range. He should be starting Roach speed soon as well. And Yoyo is straight up behind at this point. So the biggest concern for me is that Yoyo, he doesn't have a lair. Yoyo's lair is still on the way, so there's going to be a big window here where Erik can start Roach speed, and he hasn't gone for it yet. He's actually prioritizing 1-1. And this tells us that Erik wants to be a little bit more defensive for now. He's going to be going for a later push with Roach speed later on. It does mean that he's not going to be really looking to be active with these Roaches until that point, though. As Lings are looking for some damage, rotating around Erik. Putting workers at 56, and he may just stop droning here. Curious, as he's got a 4th on the way. Jumper Lords are in production. Here we go. I love it. So we had Pneumatad's Carapace. Overlord speed did finish up for Erik, so I just assumed that it would be for scouting purposes to make sure that he wasn't getting spired, or there wasn't a muta. Oh, sorry, there wasn't a spire on the way and he wasn't getting muted. But here we go. The Jumper Lords are diving into the main. Who needs Roach speed when you have Overlord speed? True. And this will not be spotted. We do have a couple of Overlords fanning out at this point, but Erik is diving into the main. Yoyo does spot this. He is reacting. And he will get here just in time. He's going to lose a couple of units, a couple of drones here or there, but he shouldn't lose too much. Oh, I spoke too soon. He loses 8 drones for the price of 4 Roaches. At the same time, Erik was trying to knock down the third base, but no, there's plenty at home to reinforce as well. Erik shouldn't lose any of these Dropper Lords. Oh, as he comes back in. He's gonna get the Queen and then pick back up. The drop backer is insane. Oh, but the drop here at the third, not doing as well. As now that the Queen died, we can actually go back in. We have the power. We have the option. Back at home, Erik just getting his 4th up and running, trying to saturate his bases. We trade Bane for Bane as well. Doesn't get into the mineral line. And Erik has to be careful. He has a lot of supply tied up in these Dropper Lords, so that does mean that his army back at home is going to be that much weaker, that much more vulnerable. We can see Erik is down 20 supply compared to Yoyo. But at the same time, Yoyo can't really move out. If he does, then Erik moves in, which is exactly what's happening right now as Erik's main army is rotating towards the south. Yoyo looking to keep up. He does see all of this. Here we go. We do drop in towards the third base. Yoyo getting completely caught off guard, but he doesn't care. He's going for the main fight. He's going for the surround. Oh, Erik is going to be losing a lot here. The Biles, they do connect. But Erik loses the majority of his Roach Ravager. At the same time, though, he does kind of break into that third base. He gets some economic damage, but Yoyo's not stopping. He is maxed out at this point. Erik trying to be a little bit too fancy. He's got the worker count, but he doesn't have the army. He's making as many roaches as he can. But it looks like the Roach Warren gets sniped, and Yoyo, he just has too much. Like, sure, he's losing workers across the map. Sure, like, the multitasking is too much for him. But, mate, you just need to make Roach. That's all you need to do. Erik trying to hold with everything he has. He's pulling the boys as well. He's trying to hold on top of the ramp, but Yoyo, especially with these reinforcements, with his economy, he's going to be able to cause the upset. Erik, he's done so well for himself recently in ESL Masters, in these ESL weekly tournaments as well. But Yoyo coming in with the random. GG gets called, and Yoyo takes the series 2-1. GG, well played. My condolences to Erik. I didn't see what happened in game 1. I didn't see what happened in game 2. Again, Yoyo was playing random. So unfortunately, I don't know how that did turn out. But my heart goes out to Erik a little bit. Again, this game, he was doing quite well when it came to the harass overall, but Yoyo had a lot of map vision. He was able to react well enough overall to not lose too much. And really, it was the solid macro of Yoyo that was able to overcome and overwhelm Erik in the end. GG. Well played. Well played. Unfortunately, that does spell the end of Erik's run here. He does get eliminated from the tournament. Oh, what's going on? Sorry, I had the wrong thing selected. That does spell the end of Erik's run. And it does mean that Yoyo advances on in his stead, and he advances on to face Trigger in the next round. Meanwhile, when it comes to Erik, I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future. I'm sure we'll see more of him in the coming weeks in ESL Masters as well. So don't fret, plenty more of Erik to come. As he'll be able to reminisce a little bit about this series and maybe take from it, maybe learn from it. He's a very receptive player, very receptive. But congratulations to Yoyo. You know, Yoyo, he's more of an amateur player. Like, he's GM, of course. I say amateur. He's more of like a semi. Yeah, I think amateur is probably the right word. Like, he's not on a pro team. Like, he doesn't compete too often. But clearly, he has the skills to back it up. And yeah, he takes down one professional. Can he take down another? As Yoyo is going to be facing Trigger in the next round. Let's go.